I want to say good morning, and we are going to Dubai and Abu Dhabi in about a month. I said God willing and the creeks don't rise. So anyhow, let me start by introducing myself because we have a lot of new first-time travelers with Overton Travel on this trip. So that's why I'm super excited, super nervous as well. So I am Lori Overton. I am the owner of Overton Travel. I am the one that you have been emailing with, talking with over the last, I would say, 12 months for some people, 12 months to last 1 month for some of our late joiners to the group. So I am super, super excited that you are entrusting your trip to Dubai. And we're also going to go to Abu Dhabi with Overton Travel. So I do not take this responsibility lightly, and I'm going to do all I can to make this a safe, memorable, enjoyable, just amazing trip. And at the end of the trip, you're going to come back saying, Lori, where we're going next. That's always my goal, is to leave you wanting more. So first, just a few housekeeping notes. This is a webinar format. It's not a meeting format. So you will be able to see me and hear me, and you'll be able to see the screens of myself and the other presenters that we have. However, we can't see nor hear you. If you have questions, I would like for you to utilize the Q&A box. The Q&A box is where you can put your questions in, and we will go through the questions at the end of the presentations. So put them there and we'll answer them. The chat box is really for you to say, hey, like we're doing now, hey, how you doing? Make oohs and ahs and stuff like that. But we'll try to segment the questions into the Q&A box. So today we have the awesome privilege to have two very knowledgeable people with us. So we're going to first go over the Dubai portion of the trip. And that's we have the representative from Dubai Tourism, that's Soraya, she'll be there. And then after we go over the Dubai portion, because that's we'll spend most of our time, then we'll talk about the Abu Dhabi portion of the trip as well. We have a full day dedicated to Abu Dhabi, but it does require some special attention to visit there because they have different rules, and we're visiting a mosque as well. So I want to make sure that we're prepared for that. Then at the end, and so we have Amber from Abu Dhabi Tourism, who will be talking about that. And then at the end of all of those two presentations, then I'll just go over any general questions. I'll go over the itinerary day by day that we have, high level, because the itinerary really hasn't changed since day one of the trip, but I'll just go over it again at the end. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Soraya from Dubai Tourism, and she's going to take us through a presentation about Dubai and its cool. All right, it's all yours.
Thank you, Lori. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. And I'm excited to walk you through Dubai because I know you're in the best hands with Lori and that she has an amazing trip planned for you. So before we start into the fun part, I just wanted to give you a quick overview on Dubai. So Dubai is one of the 7 Emirates that make the United Arab Emirates, and Abu Dhabi, of course, being our capital. So it's great that you're going to be seeing both of us because we both make an incredible dual destination and we're both completely different. So there's something different to experience and see in both places. Dubai is currently the 4th most visited city in the world. We're also the #1 destination for tourist spend. We're also among the top 10 cities for hotel rooms. And an important point that I always love to highlight is that Dubai has been ranked the 2nd safest city in the world for 5 years in a row now by MasterCard Global Index. And so it's something to just really keep in mind when you come to the destination. It's going to be easier for you to understand why we're such a safe destination. All the people are so welcoming and warm and open. We have over 220 different nationalities in Dubai. So when you come, you'll be able to see basically the entire world, and then of course meet some of the Emirati community as well. Just to give you some context on who I am. So I'm Soraya. and I am head of North America at Dubai Tourism. Dubai Tourism is responsible for the branding, promotion, and marketing of Dubai. And we're dedicated to working with private and public sector tourism and commerce partners to promote Dubai's position as a leading international business and leisure destination globally. So we've worked very closely with Lori in the past. So these are some of the ways that we help some of our partners. Just to give you a quick glimpse of Dubai as a destination and some of our offerings. So we have amazing retail. So of course, when you guys come over to Dubai, I really hope that you guys take advantage of some of the incredible shops and shopping experiences that we have. Of course, not only do we have some of the highest concentration of international brands in the world, but we are also home to some unique boutiques as well as shopping experiences, such as, you know, the Golden Spice Souk. And a big part of our culture is bargaining. And I know that Lori has an old, basically part of the tour is to go to the old side of Dubai. So I really hope that you guys bargain, get some amazing gold pieces, which is super inexpensive here, and pick up some nice spices as well. We are a gastronomy hub, so you're going to be sampling some of the most amazing food. As I told you, we have over 220 different nationalities in Dubai. So you can just imagine how many different cuisines we have here and how many different types of options you have. So there is really something for every pocket, for every person. Anything that you're looking for, you can find it now in Dubai, from Mexican food to Chinese food to American food, you know, South American food, you name it, you can find it in Dubai. We're also an incredible family destination. We have a lot of outdoor adventure, culture, as well as arts and entertainment. And now I just wanted to show you some beautiful videos of some of the things that you'll be able to see while you're in Dubai. You're going to be coming in March, and the weather is absolutely stunning during that time. So you'll be able to enjoy some of the beautiful winter sun, as we call it. We have year-round sunshine. We have amazing clear water and white sandy beaches. We have amazing water sports, as well as citywide proximity to the beach. I know you have some free time, so I would highly recommend you guys come and visit Kite Beach, La Mer, all of these different areas where you get to see the community come together. There's lots of biking, running paths, very wellness focused, and amazing food and shops. So as I mentioned, Lori will be having this as part of your tour. So, you know, of course, we have an incredible new culture, but we did start from, you know, humble backgrounds and humble beginnings. So you're going to get to see our Al Fahidi district, which is the old quarters of Dubai, where you'll see some of the most incredible architecture, our wind towers. You know, there's the Sheikh Mohammed Center for Cultural Understanding, where you understand, you know, basically Bedouin culture, the way we were in the old days, our values, our culture. There's amazing art galleries, as well as traditional restaurants around the area. So definitely a must visit one in Dubai. And I'm really glad that you guys are going to be getting to see a part of my culture when you come in. And then, of course, you guys, there is no visit to Dubai without visiting the desert. So I know that Lori has this amazing desert experience for you guys as well. The sunsets are absolutely incredible. You get to see the dunes, some wildlife. It's absolutely stunning. Obviously, in March, the weather is still going to be really lovely. So I do recommend that you bring a light jacket, as temperatures tend to drop during the evening. Of course, comfortable clothing, sunblock, sunglasses, and hats, you know, are always recommended. But we do have a lot of people who like to dress up and take some pictures while they're in the desert. So I would also recommend that you do that if that's something that you're interested in doing. And now, of course, we have to talk about COVID, as that's a part of our life. But I just wanted to assure all of you that, you know, you are going to one of the safest countries and destinations in the world. Dubai, we have undertaken critical preventative measures, including rigorous implementation of monitoring, surveillance, and quarantine protocols. So we haven't gone into a lockdown since March of 2020. When we all first found out about COVID, our government took matters into their hands really early on. They decided to put the entire country into a national lockdown, which during this time we had a national disinfection program, ensuring that all of our public areas were completely sanitized and free and safe, basically, for everyone to come back and enjoy them. So we managed to open our doors to international tourists on the 7th of July, 2020, and we haven't gone into a lockdown since. Life is back to normal. When you come to Dubai, you'll see how vibrant the city is. Of course, as a city, we take this virus very seriously. So you'll see a lot of people still wearing masks. It's mandatory here in Dubai, and a lot of people, of course, being responsible. We do about 80,000 tests a day, so it's super easy to get a test. Test results come between 6 to 12 hours in most cases. Of course, it can have a slight delay depending on how many tests they get. However, the majority of the time, it is between the 6 to 12 hour time period. And the UAE is one of the highest vaccinated destinations in the world. So all of basically the entire country has also received the booster. So as a destination, we are super taken care of. I won't go through this in great depth, but basically everything is open and running back to normal. Some of the safety protocols that we still have in place is, of course, we still maintain social distancing. So you'll see that, restaurants are spread out a little bit more, but, we're back to full capacity. It is still mandatory to wear a face mask. We do have fines in place if people don't follow rules. So we have $800 fine for someone who doesn't wear a mask. Of course, if you're found the first time not wearing a mask, you're given a warning. The second time, you are fined. We have a Dubai tourism compliance team that do random inspections of different tourist attractions to ensure that everyone's complying with the rules. And we do have undercover COVID-19 inspectors across the city. Some of the accolades that we've received, to just give you guys that added layer of confidence when coming to Dubai, is that we've received accreditations, global accreditations like the Safe Travel Stamp, which was recognized as Dubai was recognized as a safe destination by the World Travel and Tourism Council. And then on top of that, we created our own stamp called Dubai Assured for all tourism and retail establishments that comply with our health and safety protocols. So you'll see this throughout the city, in all of our hotels, all of our retail establishments. And this just should give you that peace of mind that this stamp was granted to them because they have followed all safety, sanitary protocols. This stamp is only valid for 2 weeks. As I mentioned, we have this team, a compliance team. They do surprise inspections. If hotels and public establishments aren't following rules, they're heavily fined, or even sometimes their license to hold events or whatever it may be is removed for a temporary basis. Some of the travel entry requirements, and I know Lori is going to be walking you guys through this, but they're super simple when coming into Dubai. As an American, you won't need a visa. You basically get a stamp on arrival, which gives you access into Dubai for 30 days. We do ask that you have some sort of medical insurance when you travel. It's not mandatory, but it's, if God forbid you were to contract the virus, that you would be able to cover your accommodation if you had to quarantine, or any hospital if you needed medical attention. However, I highly doubt that this will even be an issue, but of course it's always good to have that as a preventative measure. You are also required to have a negative PCR test that is printed and in English, that is only valid for up to 72 hours from the time of the PCR test. So this is super important to note. So just ensure that you have that 72-hour negative PCR test, and that's all that you need. And now, one of the most exciting things that I wanted to share with you is that, as you all know, which is part of your itinerary, we are the hosts of the World's Fair. It started on the 1st of October of last year and goes all the way till the 31st of March of this year. So you guys are super lucky that you get to see it before it is over. Just to give you a snapshot of basically what a World's Fair is. A World's Fair is a global event similar to an Olympic, to a World Cup, that kind of event where it takes place every 5 years in a different destination, and destinations have to bid to get it. So we won the bid in 2013, and we hosted it, as I mentioned, from the 1st of October all the way till the 31st of March. It's a place where you get to see human ingenuity in all forms and understand some of the biggest issues that we're facing in our world. But it's not just obviously an experience where you learn, but it's somewhere that you can enjoy. So many Instagrammable areas, tons of amazing restaurants. So it's really a destination for everyone. What makes this World's Fair super special is that it's a record-breaking World's Fair. It's the first time that it's ever hosted in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia region. It also has 190 countries participating, over 190. And just to put it into context, I believe there are only about 210 countries in the world. And then another fun fact is that every single country has its own pavilion. So unlike other expos and World's Fairs where they used to have, for instance, continents or regions clustered into a pavilion, this is basically every single country has its own pavilion. There are 60 live events every single day, ranging from concerts to educational TED Talks to National Day celebrations to food shows. There's honestly something for everyone. Just to give you a glimpse of what the site looks like, it's massive. It's about 4 times the size of Disneyland, California, 2 times the size of Monaco, the country. So it's huge. Basically, the way it's structured is the theme is creating minds, connecting the future. So again, just to give you some context, the World's Fair that was hosted in Paris had them basically construct the Eiffel Tower. So that's the reason why they have the Eiffel Tower today, is because they hosted a World's Fair there. So our basically Eiffel Tower or landmark of our expo is the Al Wasl Plaza, which is number 5 that you see on the screen. That is the largest projection dome in the world. So if you're on an Emirates flight above the site, you'll actually be able to see what's happening inside the dome. There are 3 distinct districts. So we have opportunity, sustainability, and mobility, where every destination then gets to choose which district they want to be a part of. And it's honestly exceeded all of our expectations. I've been about 50 times now, and it is incredible. There's always something new to discover. So I'm very excited for you guys to see it. As you all know, the tickets have already been included as part of your package. And now I just wanted to quickly show you a video to inspire you, and then I'll hand it over to Ambar.
You want to see the future? Come on, let's ride the metro. This is Dubai, and this is the world's greatest show.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. What you'll see will be full expectation.
They're rolling out the welcome and banging on the big drums.
Everyone around the world will come.
Down at the pavilions, they're thrilling all the millions.
OMG by the gazillion.
Opportunity, mobility, sustainability, the finest examples of human ability.
200 nations bringing innovations.
In a world of total pure imagination. You'll be in a world of pure imagination. What you'll see will be full expectation. If you want to see paradise, simply look around and feel it. Anything you want to do it.
You want to change the world.
There's nothing to it. You're all invited to the world's greatest show. Expo 2020, Dubai.
So thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them at the end of the presentation. And now I'll pass it over to Ambar.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Soraya, for introducing Dubai. And as she said, we are a destination that we work. Basically, we work one inside of the other. And I want to show you a map first before introducing you to what's going to be your trip and while you'll be visiting, and some things you'll have to consider before visiting Abu Dhabi. As you might not know, Abu Dhabi has 87% of the UAE's land territory. And you can see that here is Dubai, and then we have 3 regions, which is Abu Dhabi, where the capital city is, and then we have Liwa and Al-Ain. Each one has its own charm. One has like more of a desert area, the other one's more cultural, and then you have the city vibe. So after this quick brief introduction, I hope you kind of like know where you'll be located. All of the activities you'll be doing in Abu Dhabi will be in this red part area. And I will quickly give you an introduction of things that you will have to go through before crossing the border to Abu Dhabi. I will also quickly introduce myself. I'm Amber Soto. I work with the Department of Culture and Tourism in Abu Dhabi, and our role is support agents like Lori in this type of trips and make sure that your visit is as smooth as possible. So the first thing that I know you might be all worried about with all of this COVID situation are the entry requirements. All visitors to Abu Dhabi must be fully vaccinated to enter all public places, unless you have any sort of official letter saying why you're not vaccinated, but that will have to go through a legal requirement. So I hope you all have your CDC card. And Lori will talk to you more about that later with more details on the trip, but you'll also have to show a PCR test taken within the UAE in order to go to any attraction, restaurant, or any public place in Abu Dhabi. You can either download the Al Hassan app, and that will give you a green pass, as you can see here, and that will be on your phone. It will stay green for 14 days as long as you have your negative PCR test and your vaccine card stated that you're fully vaccinated. And in case your app doesn't work or you're not tech savvy and you do not feel comfortable uploading that information to your phone, you can always have a hard copy of your PCR test taken in the UAE or show it on your phone and present your vaccine card from the CDC. Another thing to consider, I know you won't be personally driving, but you will encounter on your way to Abu Dhabi that while crossing the border, there will be a bit of a traffic because there's you have to go through some mobile scanners that they will scan and see if you have any COVID symptoms, or if it detects that you have the virus, you'll be pulled aside to get a free rapid test. It won't take more than 20 minutes. Hopefully you all will be negative. And if you are negative, you will continue on your way to your day trip to Abu Dhabi. And if you test positive, you'll have to go back to Dubai and inform the health authorities. You will also have to show that you have your green pass, which I mentioned earlier, could be the mobile app or a hard copy of the vaccine card and the PCR test. And during your trip, you will visit the largest mosque in the country, which is one of the most amazing architecture landmarks that the UAE has. And one of the things that Lori asked me to make note in this webinar is for you to make sure you are properly dressed. Unfortunately, because of COVID, they no longer rent the abayas, which are the piece of clothes that they used to cover the hair and the body. So all women, as long as you have your legs covered until their ankles, you should be fine. You also must wear a headscarf or a normal scarf to cover your hair, and long sleeve shirts to also cover your arms. I don't know, I'm not sure if we have men in this group, but if we have, it's just anything that covers below your knees, toes, arms also covered, and no need to cover your head with a headscarf as women do. Please note that it's not allowed to go into the mosque with sleeveless shirts for women or men, or short sleeve for women and men as well. No transparent clothing, and for women and men, nothing above the knees. This is very important for you to note, because otherwise you won't be allowed into the mosque. If in any case you do not have any of this items, there is kind of like a little mall in the mosque that they will allow you to buy any of the things you need to be properly dressed to go into the mosque. Of course, no smoking, no food and drinks allowed. Please do not show any display of affection, like any over display of affection in the mosque. And please, please, please avoid displaying any emblems of symbols of any significance, political, religious, or anything. Just please be there and enjoy the beauty of the mosque and how the Islam is trying to showcase the peace and tolerance that the UAE tries to embrace through their history. That would be part of your trip, but also there are some trip highlights that Lori mentioned that you will be visiting, and you will have a photo stop at Ferrari World, which is the largest indoor theme park, and it's the first Ferrari branded theme park in the world. It's located in the heart of Yas Island. If you ever have the chance to go back to Abu Dhabi with more time, or you would like to extend your trip there in Yas Island, we have other theme parks. We have the Warner Bros. Hotel, and you can also enjoy the fastest roller coaster, which is in Ferrari World. And then you also have another photo stop at the Heritage Village, which will take you into an immersive look on the region's heritage and how everything was in the back in the days. As Soraya says, we are a very rich society now, but we come from a very humble beginnings, and you'll be able to see the souks, you'll be able to see arts and crafts, how the pearl economy worked back in the days. And the last highlight of the trip is the Emirates Palace, where you will have a photo stop as well. And the Emirates Palace is Abu Dhabi's hospitality at its finest. You will see that it's close to many of Abu Dhabi main attraction, and it's at the beginning of the Corniche, which is a stretch of kind of like beach side that you can look at all the Abu Dhabi skyline and have a nice walk if you have some free time during your visit to Abu Dhabi. And that's it from my end. I'll stay here as well in case you have any other questions that I can assist Lori or Soraya in answering.
Good. Thank you, Soraya and Amber, for the great presentation and all the information. So what I'm going to do is go over the itinerary in detail as well. And then I'm going to ask you guys to put your questions in the Q&A box, and then we'll go over everything at the end. I don't see too many questions right now, so hey, I guess we're answering everything so far. But let me take a deeper dive into the itinerary.
There are two questions, Lori.
Oh, there are two. Okay. All right.
One is, yeah. Can you see them?
Yeah. So let's just go through them then. So the first question was, besides a light jacket and hat, are there any dress restriction suggestions? And so
I can answer that question. No, there are no dress restrictions. So we just ask that, like, obviously, if you're in a mall, that you dress a little bit more modestly. If you're in a mall, like maybe bring a shawl or just nothing too short. But other than that, please feel free to dress the way you would anywhere else in the world. So you can wear shorts, dresses, sleeveless, bikinis on the beach. So no dress restrictions unless you're in a mosque, obviously, as Amber said, or in an older neighborhood where there might be more conservative groups of people. But other than that, you shouldn't worry at all about what to wear, how to dress. The temperature in March is going to start beginning to get on the warmer end, but it's still going to be really fresh. So I'm not the best with Fahrenheit, but it will be around your 25, 28 degrees type of temperature, Celsius.
That would be high 70s, low 80s.
Yes, exactly.
All right, good. So those were the two questions we have so far. If you have any others, please continue to put them in the Q&A box. All right. So let me share here. And I'm going to go over the itinerary, but I also just want to let you know that for each of my groups, I put together a travel guide that will be emailed out to you. And I also will have printed copies for you on the trip as well. So this travel guide, we completed the itinerary portion, and then I'm going to fill it up with all of the information that we just went over, not all, but most of the information we just went over here with the COVID requirements and things of that nature as well. So you'll be getting this next week with all the information, but I just want to go over the itinerary in detail right now, and also some flight information. So here we go. All right, and I have been doing this long enough not to take anything for granted. So let's start with the basics, with the dates. So we'll be leaving on, most of you guys will be leaving on March 5th. We'll be leaving from New York, put it away, on March 5th and coming back on March 13th. There are a couple of you who are coming in like the night before because you may be flying from the West Coast or from a different city, and you decided, hey, I'm just going to get in the night before. So you guys know who you are. But for the most part, the group, we are flying on Emirates Airlines, and we're leaving from JFK. The flight time is 10:40 a.m. So it used to be 3 hours, but now I'm getting from Emirates that we should be at the airport 4 hours in advance. So get there super early, and you just relax. I find you relax more when you get to the airport early, check in. As Soraya had mentioned earlier, the requirement for going to Dubai is you do need a PCR test taken within 72 hours. So that means if we are leaving on the 5th, 4, 3, 2, the earliest you can take your test will be March 2nd. This is the question that I'm going to get a lot, is March 2nd, 72 hours. And we leave it, and I'm going to be extra anal here. 72 would be 10:40 we leave, so get it after 10:40 on March 2nd in the morning. So that's the earliest you should take your PCR test. And here in the US, we know that PCRs can take a while, so and then you need to get it back within 3 days. So you may have to do some research now, make your appointments now to find places that will guarantee that you will get the PCR test back in time prior to your trip. The other requirement is that you will need to be fully vaccinated. So show your vaccine card, because you're going to need it for Abu Dhabi and things like that. So just be fully vaccinated. So bring your vaccine card and get your PCR test. So that's information for the flights. Also, I have everybody's tickets. And so I'll be sending that out next week. Everything is electronic. So I'll be sending out your electronic e-tickets. I usually assign seats, but right now the plane is pretty wide open. So I'm going to let you pick your own seats, because I think if I assign it, you're going to change it. So it's pretty wide open right now. So I'm excited. So I'll get that out to you guys by next week. I'll get your airline tickets out to you, and any other. That's probably about the only documentation you need. So we're going to leave on Saturday, March 5th. We're going to arrive on Sunday, March 6th. We'll arrive at the Dubai airport. We'll be greeted by our tour company, and then we'll be taken to the JW Marriott Marquis Hotel. So we arrive early in the morning at 10:40. We should be at the hotel, I would say, by noon or so. Check-in is not until, we arrive at 8, so we should be at the hotel probably by maybe 10:30. Check-in time is not until 3 o'clock. So we do have some time before we check in, between when we get there and we check in. So if we're lucky, the room will be ready early. If not, then that'll be a good time for you to go and get some breakfast or do some other things around. And we also, and I need to work with our tour operator on this, I might try to schedule a PCR test taken that morning, because in order to go to Abu Dhabi, we need to have a PCR test taken within the UAE. and that test is good for 14 days. So since we have some downtime that first day, I may try to schedule it then. So I'll be giving you more information on that. And then I'll just go, this itinerary is on the website that you booked, but so I won't go through all the details of it. I'll go through the highlights of it. Let me go back. And the day of arrival, we do have a welcome dinner at the hotel. And you guys are going to enjoy the hotel. The JW Marriott Marquis, my group always love this hotel. So I get great reviews on it. And if you notice this year, the trip, you may not know, but usually my Dubai trips are only 6 nights. This trip I made it 7 nights because some people said, Lori, we need time to explore the hotel. We need free time and things of that nature. So I made the trip an extra day this year because people wanted more free time, as well as folks wanted time to go to the expo and to just relax. On the day 3, we're going to do the Dubai City Tour, which Soraya talked about a bit. We will do Old Dubai. We'll do New Dubai. So you get to see the past, you get to see the present. We'll go to the top of the Burj Khalifa, which is still the tallest building in the world. I know we were there in August 2019. There's another building being built. So I'm not quite sure if that's finished yet. But currently the Burj is the tallest building in the world. It's not?
Yeah, not yet, no.
Okay. So
it's still the tallest building in the world.
Yeah, so it's still holding claim to that, to that title. Okay, great. The day 4, the next day is going to be an awesome day. So you have the morning available to yourself. So don't say, Lori, you didn't give us any free time. You have all morning available on day 4. You can sleep in late, do whatever you want. And then I think about 3 o'clock or so, we'll be picked up at the hotel and we'll do the afternoon desert safari. And this is usually a highlight, one of the highlights of the trip because there's several. So we'll go in 4x4 Jeeps out to the desert. You've seen pictures of people doing dune bashing and things like that. This is what I will advise. So there are about, I think, maybe 6 people in a Jeep or so. I would say to get in a Jeep with people that have the same adventure level as you, because I've seen videos from my past groups where some people that are very, very adventurous, they're telling the driver to go faster, because they want to like really experience the fun. Then some people like slow down. So kind of match up with people who kind of have that same thrill level as you do, because you don't want to be in a Jeep with someone that's saying go faster and you're like, oh my Lord. So anyways, this is always a lot of fun. And also when you go to the desert safari, you have the opportunity to do camel riding. It won't be this type of camel riding in this picture. So this is a little bit misleading. So you won't be riding through the desert like that. There will be camels at the camp. So don't worry, you're not going to be going through the desert like this particular picture. And also you'll have a dinner there as well. So it's like a Bedouin style. So it's a great evening. Barbecue dinner, camel riding. You get to do henna. I think they have belly dancers and things of that nature. So it's a great evening. Moving on to March 5th, this is a free day. So there's absolutely nothing planned this day. So you can use this day to go to the expo if you so choose, or to go visit other parts of Dubai, because Dubai has great activities there. But a good thing about the expo is that so you have free tickets to go to Expo. I didn't tell you that earlier. So Soraya said, you know that, but no, you don't know that. So everyone that's riding on the Emirates flights, which is most of us, will get a free day pass to the Expo, and I'll show you how to download your pass. And then also another good feature with the Expo is that the Expo gives a free pass, not just one day. I think it's multi-day pass, seasonal pass, to seniors, and seniors are considered anyone 60 and above. So you'll be able to go to the expo multiple times. And I have the passes for all of my seniors as well. So I think that covered mostly everybody in this group. You either get one free pass or you're going to have a multiple day pass. So I'll send all of that information out to you next week, and you can go to the expo free of charge. So that's going to be definitely a highlight. Then that's a free day, but in the evening we have an optional Dow dinner cruise. I think about 21 of you guys have signed up for the cruise. If you haven't signed up and you're interested, let me know now. I'll see if I can still get you on. But this is also a highlight of Dubai. Is to go on the old kind of wooden style boats, to go on the cruise in the marina, and you'll have dinner included. Then the next day, day 6 and the 10th, is another highlight of the trip, is when we go to Abu Dhabi. So you're going to have a full day in Abu Dhabi. It's about a 2-hour drive from Dubai. So it is a long day. So you're going to get up in the morning, have breakfast at the hotel. You're going to drive to Abu Dhabi. We're going to go to the mosque. And as Amber mentioned, there are certain dress codes that you need to follow in order to get to the mosque. So we'll do a review of everybody's dress before you get on the bus to make sure that it looks well, that it looks presentable to get into the mosque. So the mosque, you go there. We have lunch at a local hotel or restaurant as well. We'll do a photo stop outside of the Emirates Palace. We'll do a photo stop outside of Ferrari World, and we'll also visit the Heritage Village, which is very nice. It talks about Abu Dhabi, back in the older days, I guess, before they struck oil and things of that nature. So this tells you everything we're going to do that day, and the mosque is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. Then after that full day we spend in Abu Dhabi, I'll give you another day just to rest and relax. So what you can do, you can go get spa treatments at the hotel. You can go to the expo again if you so choose, or you can do other things around Dubai. And I know someone I mentioned they wanted to go on a tour of the Burj Al Arab, and I can give you information for that. The Burj Al Arab just recently opened up for tourism, so I'll send out information about that. Also, think about some things in advance of how you want to spend your free time. If you need help from me, let me know earlier. But if some of you guys already, have things that you want to go and see while you're there, so this is a great time to kind of break away from the group and just explore on your own. So I would say start thinking now about how you want to spend these 2 days. If you want to be out and about doing something, or you just want to take some time to sit by the pool at the hotel, you can do that. And I also believe that, I think I left this particular day free on purpose because this is a Friday. And in Dubai, Soraya, correct me if I'm wrong, Fridays is big for brunches. And so you can find...
I'm just trying to think if we've changed it now that our weekends are Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, wow.
I've heard they change it to the Saturdays. Yes. Saturday
now. Saturday.
Oh, okay. All right. So when I planned this trip, there's a method to the madness here. Friday, the weekend used to start on Fridays in the UAE, and so Friday brunches were a huge thing. But now the UAE, they just, I think in January, you guys went to having the weekends be Saturday, Sunday. So now the brunches are on Saturday. But so anyhow, if you can't go to a Friday brunch, you can go to a Friday lunch somewhere. Go get some great food somewhere. So on Friday, you have some free time to kind of just go around and just explore different parts of the city that we may not have hit as part of the tour. On Saturday, our last full day, one of the things we'll need to do is we'll need to schedule our PCR test. I'm hoping to get it in the morning before we leave at the hotel, because we need a PCR test 1 day before we head back to the US. And so I would like to get that in the morning at the hotel. So we'll do our PCR test, and then we have a half-day Sharjah city tour. And this would be a great tour for all you guys who love to shop and also to see some cultural aspect. And so like Amber and Soraya had mentioned, the UAE is made up of 7 Emirates. And so Dubai is one, Abu Dhabi is another, and Sharjah is another Emirate that you can visit. So we have a half-day tour there. And then also we have a farewell dinner scheduled for that evening. So that's the last day is jam-packed. So we do the tour, then we have dinner, and then the next morning on March 13th is when all the things must come to an end, and we leave for the airport. And we'll be leaving super early. Our flight is at 8:30, a.m. So we'll probably need to be there by like 5:30 or so. We'll be there super early because of all the COVID requirements and things of that nature. So you won't get much sleep the night before. You just sleep on the plane, you know. That is it. So you'll probably just get a box breakfast or something. You won't get a real breakfast on that trip. So I'll be heading back to the airport with you guys, but then I'm going to actually stay a little longer because Amber is helping me to see Abu Dhabi while I'm there. So stay tuned for a trip for 2023 that'll have more than just one day in Abu Dhabi. So as I'll be going there, plotting and planning the next trip. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And I see there are lots and lots of questions in the Q&A box. So we have some time left over, and we're going to go through some of these questions. So one of the questions here is address the COVID requirement for Abu Dhabi. Seems like additional tests. Yes. So Abu Dhabi does require that we take a separate COVID test. So we will be taking, I would say for this particular trip, 3 COVID tests. The first COVID test you will take in the US, which needs to be taken 72 hours maximum before the flight. So for those of you who are on, and you know what flight you're on, most of us are on the Emirates flight out of New York. So that flight is on the 5th. So the earliest you can take that COVID test will be on the 2nd. So that's the first COVID test to leave, to get on the plane, and they'll check that test at the airport before you board. The second COVID test, for those, Abu Dhabi is part of the tour. So if you choose to go to if you don't want to go to Abu Dhabi, it's up to you. But if Abu Dhabi's part is included in the package, in order to go to Abu Dhabi required that you take a COVID test within the UAE. So the COVID test that we took to come to Dubai and the USA does not satisfy the requirement. So while we're in Dubai, we have to take a COVID test to go to Abu Dhabi. Then the last COVID test we need to take is to be able to come back home to the US. The United States required that within 1 day, the day before we leave for the US, we take a COVID test. So we need to take a COVID test on the 12th while we're in Dubai in order to come back home. So that's 3 tests for the whole coming, going, and in between. Okay. The next question is, are we changing hotels? No, we are. This is a great trip. We are at one hotel the whole time. So we're at the JW Marriott Marquis the entire trip. So there's no running around for this particular trip, which is very different than other trips. Okay, let me see. So we're not changing hotel. Are we allowed to take photos while inside the mosque? We did when I went there in August. Amber, has anything changed about that at all?
You are allowed. There's only one place that you're not allowed to take photos or video, and that's the Sheikh Zayed grave. But otherwise, you're allowed to take photos everywhere.
Okay, great. The other question, the luggage restriction. So you guys are lucky. I hate telling you this, but for most of you, the tickets that I bought for the groups on Emirates, you are allowed to bring 2 pieces of checked baggage, but you don't need 2 pieces. You don't need 2 pieces, but you're allowed to, and it'll be on your ticket when I send it to you. If you didn't fly, if you're not with the Emirates, if you're on another airline, maybe a different requirement. But on the Emirates, you're 2 pieces of checked luggage weighing 50 pounds or less, and then you're allowed to do, bring in your personal item in a carry-on. I would say if you do you should come with 1. You may leave with 2 if you do a lot of shopping. So save room to bring back luggage. What day should we take a PCR test? So I think I just mentioned that on the 2nd is when you should take the PCR test. Yes, I'll coordinate the testing for Abu Dhabi. So that's what I'm working on now. I will ideally like to have it done at the hotel day 1, but if not then, we'll coordinate some other time. But yes, it will be done at the group level. I'm not quite sure if you'll able to upgrade your flight because it was a group. It was a group ticket, and sometimes group tickets are not upgradable. But you may be able to pick a seat with extra legroom. So there are some seats you can be able to pick, but the group tickets are typically not upgradable. Are we taking a group picture in white? I hadn't planned on a group picture in white. So this is, because some of my trip we do all white, but this is what I was thinking of. Usually when I have a large group of like 40 or more, I get us all t-shirts and we take pictures in t-shirt. We're at 39 people for this trip, but I think I'll bend a little bit. So I know I'm kind of late on this, but I'm gonna try to get us all like some t-shirts. We can have like a t-shirt day or so. So what I'm going to do is after this call is send out a quick email with a survey asking for your t-shirt sizes. And then maybe we can do like a group picture all wearing our t-shirts. So thanks, Vita, for asking that question. I've been mulling over it. And I'm like, we're just one short. So just to let you guys know, this is a nice group. We have currently have 39 people on the trip. So it's a nice group of people from all over. So you'll get to, some of you will see some old faces from previous trips, and some of you will make some new friends. So I'm excited about that. So somebody's interested in the cruise. So whoever, it was anonymous, so whoever's interested in the Dow Dinner cruise, just send me an email. I can't see your name, so shoot me an email real quick and I can see if I can get you on. So for the crew, just send me an email. Okay. How much are the PCR tests? Are they about 20? What was the test price again? Soraya or Amber?
So it would be around $40 to get tested. Obviously, it varies depending on like how fast you want the results or if it's at the hotel. But it can go as low as $10 as well, or free in specific areas. But that probably won't be convenient for the group as you need it in a specific time frame to get into Abu Dhabi.
Okay. What's the dollar? I have to look this up. Somebody's asking about what's the dollar limit for bringing items back duty free. Let me look that up for you. Let me write this down. Duty free. All right. I'll take note of that. But I usually include that in the travel guide, so I'll have that in there for you. Do they accept cash or credit card? Credit card usually is accepted widely. I usually recommend that people bring at least a Visa or MasterCard. I know some of you folks are loyal to Amex, but I find that American Express is not accepted everywhere. So if you do bring in Amex, bring your Visa and MasterCard as a backup for those persons who don't take Amex. You will need to change your money into the dirhams. So they don't take US dollars. And correct me if I'm wrong with this. I don't believe they take.
We do take US dollars. So you don't have to. We do. So you don't have to stress about changing your cash. We accept both credit card and cash at the Golden Spice Souks as well. But it's always good to have maybe a bit of loose cash in dirhams just in case, but you can get those basically converted into dirhams anywhere in Dubai or before you come. We have tons of different centers around.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks for that question too. I don't have any information about an equestrian event in March. Does anyone know about?
Yeah, so we have the basically horse races in March, and it's like the World Cup for the horse races. I don't have all the information about what's happening now in March, but I'll send it over to Lori and she can send it over to you if you guys are interested in learning more.
Okay. All right. Then, so we already talked about paying for the COVID test. And then what happens if you test positive? Soraya, do you want to answer that question for me? If you test positive, What happens?
So if you test positive, God forbid, in Dubai, and then Amber, you can also obviously, I mean, if they get tested positive in Abu Dhabi, they can obviously go back to Dubai, as you said, Amber, right? I'll leave that to you after. But if you were to get tested positive, there are three options that you have. Option one is you can stay in the hotel that you are in if the hotel accepts it. So you could ask and see if they would accept for you to do your quarantine there. Two, we have several different hotels around Dubai that accept positive cases. We have the Queen Elizabeth, which is a cruise hotel. We have the Media Rotana Hotel. We have a few different hotels that accept positive cases, and they do full board type of options, you know, as low as like $100 a night. And then option three, there's a free hotel that you can stay in, but I honestly would not recommend that. You know, so I would recommend the first two options. So I always advise that you bring some form of insurance with you if in case this were to happen. And then just to tell you, the quarantine period is still 10 days here in Dubai. But if on day 6 you test negative, you do another test after that, and then you'll be allowed to fly back.
Yeah, and for Abu Dhabi, there's no, you wouldn't, it's basically the same as Dubai. You'll have to quarantine for 10 days, and on day 6 you'll get another test, and then after that you have to take another one, and if that one tests negative as well, then you'll be able to go back. But you won't have that, you don't have to worry about quarantining in Abu Dhabi, because if you test positive crossing the border, you'll have to go back to Dubai. So because you're not staying in Abu Dhabi, you won't need to worry about the quarantine rules in Abu Dhabi.
Okay. And then there was a question about the travel protection that you purchased through that you purchased through me. It does cover, like, if you happen to get sick. And technically, I'm not supposed to talk about all the details of the travel insurance, so I'll send you the policy, you'll see it. But on a high level, COVID is considered an illness, so the travel protection does cover expenses, extra expenses that you will incur because of an illness. But just keep in mind, it does reimburse you, so you do come out of pocket at first, and then you file a claim to get your money back. So you come out of pocket, and then you get reimbursed for it. So it's not, they don't pay for it up front. You will still have to pay for it yourself. Okay. And let me see. I don't know what the exchange rate off the top. Does anyone know what the exchange rate to the dirham is right now? But yeah, they do take dollars as well. And I'll put that.
3.67. $3.
Yeah, 3.675. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then the COVID test is not part of your package. I don't even think they were required when we put the package together. So a lot of things have changed since the trip was put out a year ago. So definitely the COVID test to come back to the US was not in place a year ago, and that test to go to Abu Dhabi was not even in place when the trip started. So the COVID test that you need to take in Dubai, they are at your expense. You'll need to pay for that, because those were new developments since the trip. Okay. So I don't have a list of medical insurance options. I have the one that I offer, but which has some of the medical insurance. But if you're free to choose other ones as well, but I don't have a list at all. Okay. Any other questions? Let me see. I'm just going to check the chat to see if there are any other questions here. I think we've answered everything, and we are just 2 minutes over, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. So guys, I wanted to do this. We're doing this a month before the trip, so I wanted to give us plenty of time to prepare for the trip. And if you have any other questions after the call, I'm always available for you. I have another one of these calls scheduled for Sunday night for folks that couldn't make it. Soraya, we won't have Soraya and Amber on the call. It'll just be me for those people who couldn't make it. So you feel free to jump on Sunday night if you have any additional question. Let me just see. One other question came up. Will you be able to pay for COVID tests with a credit card? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Does anyone know about that? Yes?
You can.
So yes, you can pay for the COVID test with a credit card. Okay. So, all right. Good, great question. I'm so glad you guys were engaged in it. Answered great question. If more come up, please reach out to me. I'd rather for you to ask the question ahead of time and early than to not ask it. And then, it can become an issue. So if we do things early, get these questions asked, start packing, start preparing, start just getting everything together, start thinking about what you want to do in your free time, and things of that nature. Dubai has great activities, great restaurants as well. I'll try to give you some recommendations on them. But I'm just looking forward to a safe and amazing trip. I want to give big thanks to Soraya from Dubai Tourism and Amber from Abu Dhabi Tourism for their time and eagerness. As soon as I asked them, they were like, yes, I'm available. So thank you for your support. I definitely appreciate it. And I look forward to working with you on future trips to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Thank you all for joining the call, and we'll be in touch over the next month. Okay. All right. Have a great day, everyone.